Well, we made it, Kyle. Another trip around our star.
Does it even feel like winter in Florida?
Luckily, for this end of the year video, it's cool enough I can wear something that signifies the fact that it's December.
It's important for me to know. I'm moving to Florida so we can record live. I'm so excited about it. I have such senioritis. Half my things are in boxes. It's impossible to focus right now.
I know you're trying to make this like timeless, and all I can think about the fact is that when times we're recording this, you still are in the middle of jury duty.
Yes, that too. Yes.
You would probably have senioritis anyway, but I'm sure it is like cranked up to 11, gasoline lit on fire because of the fact that you're also dealing with jury duty.
Suddenly, 9-to-5 job just came like into my life. Just instantly in the final 3 weeks we have. And we had so much planned. We had so much celebration. We hit all our goals for Studio 2.0. We're so excited to show you all that stuff. Thank you for joining us. The trust as well. I mean, obviously, we had an MSQ stream too that had to get canceled. I'm really excited for the various sets we're going to have. We're going to have about 3 by the end of things. We're going to have your office, my office, and then, of course, Studio 2.0, which will be the more themed filming environment.
Primarily used for video recordings once it's done. Yeah. Hidden text once my contractor stops ghosting me. I feel bad because I feel like this will get more views than a podcast episode, but my raw emotion was definitely on our most recent podcast episode, which by the time this comes out won't be our most recent episode. A link in one of the corners where I had an emotional reaction to trying to describe how thankful I was that we like hit all our we hit our personal funding goals for our Patreon. We haven't, at the time of recording this, we haven't even done our extra live stream yet, but we've already way surpassed the goal we set for our fundraising. Charity. Fundraising is for us. Charity is for other people. Yeah, we wouldn't be doing all this. We wouldn't be doing all this without folks watch. Like, everyone says that, but like everyone says that because they mean it. If there's someone out there that makes stuff and they thank you for it, like we're doing right now, they mean it. We mean it because, I don't know, you and I have been doing shit together since 2010. We've said that a lot this year. We say it a lot because it's on my mind constantly with the reality of what is about to happen. Never thought we'd be making stuff in the same damn space. And I'm really excited for that to be the future.
There's a reason why I think YouTubers say things like, thank you for subscribing. We felt every single one of those subs. We worked hard for each one of those subs because it is a journey.
Yeah.
Every single one of those little numbers matters a lot. And y'all taking the time to support us directly on Patreon is huge, completely daunting. I just want to fulfill these promises now. Like that's where I'm at. Like, I just want to show you what we're capable of because you've made this investment. But first I must travel with 2 children and a pregnant woman diagonally across the entire United States. Oh no, a baby werewolf. Oh no. Oh no. And then somehow hook up internet and all that sort of thing. Like do all the little minor things that are involved in moving. We'll be up and running faster than I would be alone, obviously. You know, because we're going to be recording your place. I'm going to have to get all the things. I'll have fiber internet. I'm really excited about that. That's not a thing available in most places in the Pacific Northwest because of monopoly. We've recorded maybe like 6 things live together. And it always feels so natural. Like this is just a barrier that is just being broken down instantly. It feels great.
We know each other pretty well. Oh. Yeah. So in last year's end of year video, we talked about how mind blown we were when we did a test stream on YouTube. So I feel it is worth informing you all that this year, we're sticking with it.
YouTube, obviously, mega corporation, huge, but they've continued to do a lot of advancements in our time since we've picked them up. In fact, one of their newest tools was rather cool. It was an option to upload 3 thumbnails at once, and the algorithm slowly fed them out and decided which one was the winner.
Kyle, I sat down this morning And I took a look at how many streams we've done this year. Do you have a guess without looking at the doc?
So there's 54 weeks, so like 120?
Add like another 50 to that, and you got the number.
Wow. The podcast. Yeah,
we did
podcast and all the little streams.
170 streams so far this year. Hey, what was your favorite stream of the year?
The one we did in person. Like that's an easy win.
It's not a marathon. It's a LAN party, everybody!
Yeah, the Martyr Marathon was awesome.
I've got four favorites that like very quickly jump to the front of my mind.
Okay.
Starting all the way back, or go back the farthest, February 10th. Yeah, I bet you all saw this coming. That's the 5.0 finale. Dude, this... I can't see what's happening.
No, me neither. All I know is I'm going to keep healing. That's my plan. Oh, yeah, we did finish Shadowbringers this year.
We did. We're that slow. Yep.
Well, Sort of. We did every patch. Obviously, I guess you can't do the patches before you move on to Endwalker, but we did every raid, all the trials. We did all the role quests.
Yes.
Which we never really made a video about.
Because only some were good.
It was good solo content. It fleshed out an interesting backstory, but never did I feel like it directly interacted with the MSQ.
No, it didn't have major story ramifications in the way that I feel Eden and the Wurlet trial series do.
And that took us a lot of time. And even weirder is I'm not possibly going to continue those exact jobs I did for that for upcoming because the jobs change over time and get more buttons.
My next one, May 19th. Varus Extreme. More famously known as Azumi's famous "Let me solo him" moment.
Point four.
Azumi's gonna do it. Azumi's gonna do it.
No way. Oh no,
God.
More spokes. Spokes are easy with one person.
Oh my god.
No way. No freaking way. No stupid way.
Azumi goated.
Wow.
Azumi goated.
That was the problem the whole time. You see, it's easier when you solo it. Man, that's the problem the whole time. Yeah, that was shockingly hard.
I also don't think we talked about this anywhere, but we commissioned frequent rad fan artists in our Discord. You probably know him from Twitter as Jaffers to do some rad art of Azumi's Warrior of Light to commemorate this, and printed it out, framed it, and surprised Azumi with it. Should have a behind-the-scenes video about this little gift coming out for all of our members and patrons very soon, as a matter of fact.
That entire opening to Boja was incredibly well done. I'd say, like, biggest shocker content for the year would be Boja.
Shocker content for the year, or shocker content for our entire playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV so far?
I guess the whole game, but you wouldn't want to grind a game if you didn't already like it, so it's not the best foot forward.
The Martyr Marathon getting to finally freaking announce that you were moving, because I had known for months. Well, Kyle?
Yes, Garrett.
A couple people picked up on the fact that I had kind of almost revealed it a few times. And it was such a weight off my shoulders, on top of the fact that while that week that you were here, you were only here like, what, 5 days?
Yeah, it was fast.
It was very busy. Very, very busy. You might notice that the MSQ video for that section of the game were not in person, and that's because every minute was accounted for. And you were late getting in by like 6 or 7 hours, which actually did eat into some of our planning.
The story of the year, right? We want to do more without overextending ourselves and ending up in that situation that so many do when they take this leap of going too big and collapsing.
Yeah, absolutely. But despite how packed it was, that was such a fun week, and that was such a fun stream. The energy of being in the room together when Endwalker was popping off. It's still popping off at the time of recording this. And then, honestly, just a couple of weeks ago when I got you to play WoW with me. No! No! What? was probably one of the biggest highlights of the year for me.
I can understand that. I have the games I love, absolutely love. If I ever got you to play some Factorio, Satisfactory. I mean, Baldur's Gate, right? Baldur's Gate was a single plate at a buffet. It was an absolute overwhelming sense of, wow, this would be a full-time stream game. This would be a job to even try to attempt Baldur's Gate in its completion.
Baldur's Gate is a big one on the hopeful beat for next year for me. That's at the top, with probably like finally getting to experience like Final Fantasy VII or something.
Hi, Garrett from the future. So just proof that this happened. I'm here on the 32nd story?
32nd, yep, yes.
32nd floor out by the World Trade Center. Here with Katie and Beth. And at some point, we're going to be playing through Final Fantasy VII. It's because Beth just gave this to me. Sorry, Katie, I'm covering your face.
Oh my God.
It's probably like those two things are probably the top of the list for me. I really want to get through those games. But like, who knows? It's a new year. There might be new stuff coming out that we really want to play. WoW has a recency bias in my mind, but I would chalk up kind of this last quarter of the year where we've mixed in some non-Final Fantasy 14 streams and people have turned up and they have been fun. They've been high energy. People are having a good time.
Oh, shit! Oh, no!
Oh my God! Oh no! That is really heartening. That's really, really heartening. Because I'm not burnt out. I want to play everything. I'm still not bored of Final Fantasy 14, and I think part of that reason is because I've taken my time and also played other games on every step of the journey, and now I'm getting to play other games and share it with our audience, and that's just, it's really fun.
To me, there's still no better pot to stew over than the Final Fantasy 14 content. Like, when you get to that MSQ, when you get to those patches, raid stories, there's just a reason to stream it, you know? There's people, there's personal experiences, and getting to interact with the audience, going through that content, hearing their relationship with it, is just very fulfilling and fun, but it's also fulfilling.
Fun and fulfilling 14.
Why do they pick Cenarius over Malfurion?
I'm pretty sure it's Cenarius. Again, it wasn't Malfurion because Taronda's there.
Yeah.
But she AFKs immediately.
She despawns.
Yeah, she despawned.
Oh, the podcasts have been fantastic as well. The freaking guests we had this year. We had Marco on this year. It feels like that was longer ago, but Marco was this year, all the way back in February, followed by Joe Cat. And then like in a row, we had the core dudes. We had Scott, we had Bo, we had John, like bing, 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 all in a row. And then we had Preach on, we had Andy, we had OK Mage. We've had Jesse multiple times in that mix. And then we had another thing that like, this might be the thing I'm like personally the proudest of this year, is that Roundtable podcast. I'm a big podcast nerd. And specifically, I'm a big like video game podcast nerd. And very, very, if I want to niche down, I'm a very big Blizzard podcast nerd. And there's always been these massive Roundtable podcasts that I just couldn't compete with. No one knew who you and I were. We couldn't draw enough interesting people like that in our early podcasting days when we were doing Blizzard podcasts. We had started with StarCraft. And to assemble that many people that I respect to sit around in the same virtual table and talk about, obviously, BlizzCon, which had just wrapped up, which was kind of the reason that was the banner we hung for why we're getting together to have a chat, but also FanFest and just kind of the landscape of MMOs as a whole this year. Ooh. Oh, that's just like, that just warmed, like, how old were we when we started this shit? Mid-20s Garrett would lose his mind if I showed up with that episode on a thumb drive for him in a time machine.
It's an interesting set of skills, podcasting, antiquated. Sure, like, podcasts lost a lot of listeners as it went mainstream because everyone, crime shows and all that. Like, there's a lot of people using that podcast time to listen to very well-produced, massive shows. Podcasting always had that power of being small, knit, easy to produce, could be put out weekly. It'd be a great place for you to learn about the news in your particular gaming sphere. I moved to be closer to family, ended up living in Portland, the city. I moved into a closet to do all my records. But in those moments, Heroes Fire came to me with some video work. Garrett came to me with some video work. And in the background, I'm slowly teaching myself using Windows Media Player, like, what is the Vegas Studio or something like that? The nice version of the Windows editor. Slowly teaching myself editing while still doing podcasting. And that journey into this room, into actual videos that I'm proud of that look good edited weekly on the internet, and then pulling back on those podcasting skills with a bunch of people I respect, with people I've passed on escalators at BlizzCon and was like, oh, they're a big deal. Oh my goodness. To get and sit and talk with them, that's crazy. Even more crazy to hear that perhaps they want to be on podcasts, that they miss doing podcasts. Why don't people make podcasts anymore? After the whole journey through the podcasting dwindle of 2020, 2021.
It's a fun year for it. I'm very proud of what we've done.
We've got guests that we can't announce yet. And I'm so excited for next year.
Oh my God. Oh crap, dude. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. We're working on some stuff. Well, Kyle.
Oh, clap takes.
Oh.
Oh, weak.
All right, Kyle. Don't look. Promise me you're not looking.
Okay.
How many videos do you think we've made this year?
54, right? Am I wrong that that's the number of weeks in the year?
We do bonus videos as well.
Oh yeah, the bonus video. Oh yeah, sometimes those
for
do
the members,
come out.
For the members and the patrons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
62.
Real? Okay, I thought we would even out because a couple of hustle weeks we had to miss a video here and there.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes me feel great. My
we
delivery is fantastic.
A couple weeks off this year from the weekly upload.
Thank you again for the support that allows us to disappear in the summer and winter for family.
What's your favorite video? Go, hit me. Come on. I know you have an encyclopedic memory and you can just conjure up out of 62 videos your favorite one this year.
I think my favorite video is Shower Thoughts. Too much for first-time players, 5.2.
Keep that up and I'll send you to bed without supper.
The lore was getting spicy. Like we were starting to figure out some stuff about the whole ancestral memory projecting the star shower thing, and that was just fun. That's when I'm having the most fun when it comes to MSQ.
I'm gonna go, I think, further back in May. This Broke Me Hades Extreme video about our Hades Extreme experience where you stopped blinking for minutes on end. It was this realization that we had stories to tell based on our own experiences with this game, and we didn't just have to talk about the game's story, but we could talk about our story with the game, and I'm proud as hell of that video.
Ongoing condition, by the way. They're not exclusive to Hades, the lack of blinking.
Oh, yes.
It's just what happens.
After Hades, now people look for it, which, boy. You can't control the internet. You cannot. I also got to give a shout out to How Will We End Walk, which is very unique, and we haven't done anything else like it, but we literally just edited a section from a Jesse Cox podcast appearance. I had so much fun editing that. It's very specifically your Xenos Eats the Moon rant.
I didn't want to spoil anything, but I'm gonna. The twist ending of Endwalker is that 1, the moon is a 3D projection, and 2, Xenos eats it.
Yep.
He swallows it whole.
Yep.
And it's, that's why people love it so much.
Yep, but they hate
They're
Xenos.
like, this is the best thing I've ever played. Because Xenos is like just sucks it down. Yeah.
Moon. A number one video I'm the most proud of. Go watch it. Is our first fan fest.
Ah, yes, yeah.
That I am so proud of that essentially travel vlog.
But it is certainly a very real moment for you and I. We had made the decision before FanFest that we were going to try out this move plan, the studio plan. We're going to present it to the audience and make a decision. As we recorded together there, as we met so many of you, as we were completely overwhelmed by the support, by the recognition, just sounds weird, but the meetup, that plan became more of a reality, something we could do because we're going to do it. And you can help it happen, but it was just going to happen anyway. Also, I had to delay my jury duty because I got it for FanFest weekend. So that's why I'm in jury duty now. It's because I told them I was out of town and I couldn't do it. So they're like, that's fine. We'll see you in December. And they kept to their word, even though I'm moving in 20 days. So this year started out with videos basically on the Thancred Ranjit fight. And I think one of my favorite thumbnails of the entire year was the theories before the end. Vothri surrounded by the flying bread.
Doesn't it seem bonkers now to look back on that? Just like how wrong we were about so many things. How cinder block on the gas pedal the game gets at a certain point.
All the better for the audience to enjoy. I do regret slightly having so many before we Endwalker videos that were theories before. Here comes the end. Jesse Cox before the end. Like, you know, there were a couple of videos, but there's a lot of theories. And every time we'd do a patch, every time we'd complete another chunk, there was another part of the game that filled out that twisted what we thought was going to be happening further. I mean, Elidibus, probably one of the biggest guilty parties here of messing with what we thought Endwalker was going to be. As for thumbnails, there were some oddly disturbing ones made during that time period that didn't make the cut. Mainly the zoom in on Elidibus's face.
I don't think I've turned down one of your thumbnails faster.
It's shocking. You know, it might elicit some clicks there.
The hair on the first one.
And then when you remove my facial hair and just a mouth, now we're getting even weirder.
It reads slightly better.
Honestly, we had a lot of really good ones for Amarot. Like that makes sense. There's a lot of options.
Itself.
Yeah.
Nothing inspires me faster than anything involving Emmett. That one broke my heart to not use. It doesn't read well, and you can't make it read well.
It doesn't make any sense when you see it as a small image.
Also, I think we have the same running shoes. Those are Nikes.
This one didn't make the cut because it was just going to be too much work to actually clean up, and it used the stock image, which... but it ended up being a bonus video eventually, but it's such a wonderful image.
You've manipulated enough to get away from stock image concerns.
Sure.
Yeah, we did just me as Emmett Selk screaming in front of fire.
Yes.
Which
I think was the right choice.
The views on that are better than usual, so I'm going to take the W on that.
The whole through Emmett worked pretty well, though. I thought, of all our thumbnails this year, I think that is our most classy one.
I still kind of think it's difficult to know what it is, even if you've played all the way through Shadowbringers.
It's obscure, right? And that quality of if you know is really fun to play with. Because we've had so many people working so hard to not spoil us, I do kind of hold it on a pedestal. I do want to respect that across the YouTube. There are things I see that I don't know what they are. Just day after a patch, YouTube's like, look at this thing. And you're like, nope, excuse me, no thank you. So I try, but I'm also here to admit that the more spoilery the image are, the better the image click-through is.
Oh, 100%.
Because people know what it is.
Yeah, no, and with a lot of Endwalker stuff, we've done multiple thumbnails very recently that it was the last year and a half we would have never done because we're like, yeah, it's a visual spoiler. Now I'm just like, I give up. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to explain what section of the story we're in with this thumbnail without showing this. It's me as Emmett. That's what we're talking around right now.
It works because you, the audience, know what it is, and so you click on it. It's already a weird thing to be doing this book club experience where we're putting out chapters of the MSQ in review. So someone just finding the channel for the first time doesn't even know where we are without that image to inform them. I mean, we even got like critiques on some of the dungeon. Like we did obscure bonus. They're not obscure. They're just rare to get queued into. We did the hard dungeons of Stormblood. And during that time, while we were making that video, we had people message us about, well, how can you be showing these images? I don't even know what it is. Well, it's a Dungeon in Stormblood. It's not some brand new thing that just came out. This was literally a boss in an optional dungeon that you've never seen.
I'm never going to post someone's death in a thumbnail, except for your favorite thumbnail, which is literally a hole punched through Emmett Selk and you're looking through it.
Yes, but you have to know. You have to know if you know,
zoomed
right?
in that close, you have no idea. You were right to push for that one, by the way, though, because you're right. It's classy as fuck.
What was I on the floor for? Why did we make this one? Why did I Yoshi P myself? What were we making here?
I think this is a classic example of we get excited about an idea, but then we think about the video it goes on and it makes no fucking sense at all and it's a terrible fit.
5.3. This would have been 5.3 because it's right next to hanging out with Alizé and the weird Elidibus ones.
Yes, that's another one where I'm like, what do we even do for 5.3? We ended up doing us pointing at the Crystal Tower, but it's like such an extreme angle that like it did okay. I think it would have done better if we were a little more. I think we should make that a more obvious thumbnail, Kyle.
I think the most obscure one that worked out. This is honestly one of my favorites. The one where you're blasting me as Lunar Bomb.
I remember trying to clean that one up because you can see where the edge of my camera frame is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just going to put a big purple smoke cloud there because I was busy that morning. And it works. Yep. It works.
There's also where we tried to be spoiler free and end up being phallic.
Yes, I hard vetoed that immediately. You could just show a tower because you don't know what it is. The question is, what is that? I don't know. It's not telling anyone what it is.
But we were influenced. We were riding the wave. We wanted to share.
We were tempered by the spoiler police.
After so much effort being put our way, we wanted to give it back. But we're now finding that effort is not necessarily rewarded.
Kind of hurts us, yeah. My most proud thumbnail of the year is working Tokyo Drift into a thumbnail from just a few weeks back on November 5th or November 15th. Speaking
of obscure thumbnails, that one was one I was like, well, okay, sure, let's ride. What does it mean? What does it mean? That's an obscure one.
I was thinking of just the endless cycle, like a cycle, circle. And in the video itself, sometimes the thumbnail, we know the thumbnail before we even sit down to do the video. Most of the time, the thumbnail comes after the video. This was a case of I was deep into editing it before I thought of the thumbnail. In that video, there's a gag where I use a clip from Tokyo Drift. And it made me think of this as a thumbnail. I'd be remiss if we didn't have a little bit of a chat about the impact of this community that we have somehow been very, very lucky to foster.
We have the videos as kind of this collecting point for our community to interact on. We started doing the YouTube premieres so people can catch it live and start chatting immediately in there. We have the Discord, but honestly, when you get deeper into this, like the free company, we have amazing mods and community managers and free company deputies who run a lot of this for us. Yes, and the decorators. Yes. Steel Mane. Oh my God. What a treasure.
Goodness gracious. The Christmas theme this year is fantastic.
And then we have community event organizers. There are events going basically daily in our free company, whether it's trains or maps or some other event going on. Mount farming, what have you. There's almost always something going on in there. And that's all run by our community.
Being completely dumbfounded by how much happens without our involvement. And that I really can't overstress how overarching that is, from the FC itself to the Discord to the fact that we hit our Patreon goal the first week of Kyle's jury duty where we barely got anything out. There was almost no content from us that week, and it was completely unplanned. We had to literally cancel streams that had already been posted, and we still hit the goal. The fact that you all still support us and are horrendously positive reflections of the weird things that we make on the internet, it means a lot. So what was your favorite welcome in Final Fantasy 14 this year, Kyle? Favorite in-game welcome. Favorite in-game welcome. Welcome wagon. Fanfare. Welcome party.
I love the role play. Anytime there's lots of role play going on.
Quote that, internet.
But possibly, and maybe not the most joyous one, I think like Camp Broken Glass, with everybody, huddled around the various fires, lining up like soldiers, dressed in their best glamours for the moment, whether that's winter wear or a Ul'dah guard uniform. I love when everyone's role-playing, man.
My absolute favorite for the same reason was Amarat. Everybody in their Ascian robes. We had a impromptu drag race where I gave away some rather expensive in-game items to the winner. Like, we didn't plan for it. How could we? We couldn't say, hey, everybody, meet at Amarat, the city we don't know exists or that we're going to. That was so good. That to me, that was the most on point everyone's been with role-playing outside of maybe the Beehive, which was last year. I think I even mentioned it last year as my favorite welcome party. The Beehive just works because even if people are misbehaving, it seems like it's part of the role play. But Amarat, I felt like everyone was behaving. Everybody was working toward this Westworldian experience. It was delightful. So what's on the near horizon, dude?
I'm excited to fill out the monster manual of Final Fantasy 14 by doing the old games, by going through some of those old together on a couch experience with Garrett, getting to go through old Final Fantasy games and making those connections. Who is Kefka? Why is there a clown? Who's excited about X-Death? What did that mean? What was the gamble? Actually, most of these are Omegas, so all of Omega. What the hell was that?
All of it. I mean, we already talked about it too throughout the video. Like, I want a Baldur's Gate 3. I want to Final Fantasy 7. I want a Season of Discovery raids. But I want to make sure that there's time and flexibility for surprises. And, we're doing the patron choice streams once a month, so there's going to be some fun, happy surprises in there. We're grinding into more games, but we're not leaving Final Fantasy 14. Can you imagine what the cooking videos are going to look like when we're all cooking on the same thing with no knowledge of the future?
The multi-videos that it can be while we cook, and then you all interact, and we look at the Reddits and the community, and then we take that cooking and we cook on that. Like, this is going to be overcooked, but it's going to be really, really fun when we get there.
It's going to be a good time.
So join us. Continue to join us. Thank you for being here.
I'm going to miss your background.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, granted, I will have my set and my place, so I hope this will continue in a new form. I've got an idea. Oh yeah, I replaced my computer this year. Yeah, that was a big thing too.
Thank you, Doghouse.